Just firstly, Ole, it might be quite a long update, but can we have the team news, please, ahead of this match? Who's back, who's a doubt, who isn't in?
The short version is it's Luke Shaw, Jesse Lingard and Phil Jones are the only ones who didn't join in parts of the training today. Then they're at different stages. Some of them had the recovery after the internationals on Wednesday and travels. Some are just working back after illness and fitness and will make a decision tonight. But most of them have joined in the last or today, and then some joined in yesterday. So it's looking good.
So the likes of Marcus Rashford, Mason Greenwood, Eric Bailly, Victor Lindelof are all possibles?
Possibles, but some of them are probably some doubts there. Marcus joined in first time today. Hopefully there's no reaction. I'm not sure. Bailly, that was his first day today, so no. Him and Marcus Rojo just joined the training today, first time in a month at least. So they're not ready. Victor will have to check tomorrow because his back is not great.
Okay, Bill Rice next, please.
Hi, Ollie. Great to see you. Welcome back.
Thank you.
I'm sure you've been saddened by the news recently, obviously the death of Nobby Stiles and then Bobby Charlton's diagnosis with dementia as well. I'm just wondering what your thoughts are on the situation at the moment, whether you think the football authorities and the sport have a more of a responsibility to do more and to help more.
I can't claim to be an expert on the subject, but of course we've seen it close hand with Nobby and Sir Bobby as well, of course, and it's a serious issue. The good thing is it's now being raised awareness. I need to learn more about it myself as well. And so we in football can help raise discussions. The debate is going. That's good, and progress has to be made. Do we have to adjust training for the kids when they're younger, as there has been in different countries? Not allowed to head a ball or have heading training before such and such age. So I just want to say that we're football has a big responsibility here as well, because with the profile of what we're doing.
In terms of since the Everton game, you obviously weren't happy with the scheduling of that fixture right off the back of the Champions League game. I know Steve Bruce has been talking today about the 5 subs rule and saying that he thinks it's the hectic schedule and so many games in a short space of time that's the real problem, rather than needing more substitutes. Would you tend to agree with that?
But those go hand in hand, and we had a very good managers meeting the other day where we discussed it. Of course, player welfare has to be in the front of our heads this season. Even mental health, physical health. You know how life has changed for all of us, and 2020 has been a year that no one could foresee. No one knows the after effects of it. But the football authorities, we can help and at least use common sense with the fixture scheduling as well. And we as managers, we also need to look at looking after players when they've played maybe too many games. We need to try to get the rest when possible. It's a complex situation for many of us, and I think, and I know, loads of injuries happen towards the end of games. And if you have the chance, maybe the last 15-20 minutes to take players off instead of only making 3, you have another couple of subs. You might save some injuries, and fatigue is the main cause here, I think, because you might be late in a tackle and you might not hurt yourself, but you might hurt someone else. So it's a bigger discussion, that is.
James Cooper.
Hi, Ollie. If I just ask you, I think the only person that wasn't mentioned was Mason there. I mean, it's his second season in the kind of first team. Do you use your own experiences? When you came to Manchester United, you had an amazing first season. I think you hit 19 goals, and second season had a couple of injuries and not quite so many goals. I'm just wondering if that knowledge helps you get the best out of someone like Mason when the expectation levels are so high?
You know, he's had you have to take a step back sometimes, and the boy's only 19, and he's had a fantastic year. He's, if we go a year back, I left him out of the Carabao Cup. I think we played Chelsea. Mason stayed back and played against Doncaster in the checker trade to get game time, and that's how far he's gone. Now he's got 19 goals for the first team. He's made his England debut. He scored on his first under-21s game. He's had a fantastic development, and of course the headlines are going to be there about him when he scores. If he doesn't play, everyone's allowed to not be well, and if you're not well, you can't train. He's now stayed away from. He's been away 8-9 days from training. We're just starting building him up again. And I have no doubts about him. He's got a very good head on him, and his talent is there for everyone to see.
Just want to ask you about the home record. We talk about kind of making progress this season. I guess that's one thing you've got to get sorted fairly quickly to make that sort of progress, isn't it?
Yeah, then again, home and away now, it's different. It's not like it used to be. We've had 4 home games in the league, yes. The first one I think everyone knows, and we certainly look at it as we didn't have any preparation, and Palace deserved it. Tottenham deserved a win after sending off that Anthony shouldn't have. The 2 games against Chelsea and Arsenal, very close games, where I'm 100% sure if we'd had our fans, that would have helped us and maybe sparked that little extra X factor that we needed. Our biggest win this season, and almost maybe the best game we've had, is against Leipzig at home, though. So it's something we want to correct. Of course, we want to go against West Brom now and get our first home win, hopefully. But it's a different sensation now playing without the fans behind the goal at Stretford, and they normally score a goal for us.
Simon Peach.
Hi, Ollie. Staying on the subject of fans, it sounds like there could be some back in the next month, maybe a little bit longer. It's not entirely clear. It depends on obviously how things go. That must be welcome news for you guys. It's what has it been, 8-9 months now?
Yeah, it's welcome news for the players and the clubs, of course. But I think the biggest plus is for the fans that can come and watch the games again, because it's watching it on television, not getting that close contact and connection with the players that you admire and you adore. You're a fan of a club for a reason, and you love the players. So hopefully we can get back to it. But that's up to the government and the society in general, that we can get this infection rate down, because it's a serious issue.
James Savundra.
Ollie, we saw Didier Deschamps speak about Paul Pogba's situation at the club in recent weeks. He said he's in a situation where he cannot be happy neither with his playing time nor his positioning. Does that fit with conversations you have with Paul? Do you think he is happy at the club and he understands why at times maybe he's not playing 90 minutes every week?
Paul's had a difficult season last season. He's had COVID now. I think those 3 games he played for France helps both us and Paul, and it helps France. He gets a rhythm. He gets his fitness. I've spoken to Paul, and he certainly felt towards the end of the Portugal game, and definitely the end of the Sweden game, he felt stronger for it, and he played well. They qualified. Of course, he's gonna. I think it's only going to improve. And Paul is, as I've said, a very important player for us and a very important person for us. And to have him in form and happy is going to be vital for the run that we hopefully can put together now.
Carlson.
Yeah, Ola, allt bra?
Hej, Adam.
Yeah. Now you maybe had a few days to think about the season so far, being very solid away from home, and then as you've talked about, a bit more unstable at home. Have you found the answer to why Manchester United haven't managed to pick up a 3-pointer at Old Trafford yet this season?
You know, it's not as easy as why don't we win at home? Why do we do so well? Every game lives its own life. I think there's reasons, as I said, behind us not having a home win in the league so far. The best game probably we played this season was at home against Red Bull or Rasenball Leipzig in the Champions League. So home or away is not the same. As in Norway, we've got at least a few hundred fans, and they help. Here it's completely sterile, and it's different. So. And the games we played have been close games, apart from, of course, the Tottenham game where we played with 10. So we're working on it, trying to find the answer, of course. And I think the Everton game last time out showed a Man United team how we want to see it. Very solid defensively. Only one shot on target they had. We scored 2 fantastic team goals, loads of passes, creativity, ends with crosses, and a great. Counter-attacking goal towards the end, so I'm very pleased with the last performance.
Last one in this section for Andy Mitten.
Hi, Ollie.
Hiya.
Can I ask you about West Brom tomorrow? They've only lost one of the last 5 games at Old Trafford. They've got a very good record, but they've not won a game this season. What are you expecting from them?
Well, I expect a difficult game, of course. It's hard to predict if they've changed system a few times. They've had some players out with COVID. Some of them are back now. I know we played them in the summer, just before the restart. 2 11s there, and they both 11s were 2 very good teams. And we know they've got individual players. There's a good setup there. Slaven is a good coach. I've known him for many years. Ever since I played against him, he was chirping in my ear when he was marking me. He would try to get me out of focus. So I expect a team that want to come and give us problems, of course. But I expect us. I have to focus on us, and we have to focus on the performance against Everton. That was a good one. We want to see more of that. We want to see more of what we have been good at earlier in the season, or towards the end of last season as well. So we want to dominate, but we also want to be good defending.
Rashford, but this is Jesse Lingard. It's Lingard. Well, the ball sat up invitingly. Well, that's when West Brom do have a problem, when players like Martial get goal side, get past their defenders, and get running at the heart of that West Brom defence. That's what happens here. All those players chopping and changing their positions, giving the West Brom back four plenty to think about. Martial. Marouane Fellaini just got away from him as he spun, but trying to dive in there, and Jesse Lingard has found Martial. Anthony Martial wants the corner, gets the corner, but we've seen him deliver from that kind of position so many times. Well, Robson-Kanu just about got away with that. Corner, how Robson-Kanu makes a mess of a near post clearance. The ball seems to maybe cannon up off him onto his arm. There's Michael Carrick. Now Jesse Lingard. It's Lingard, and no takers. Well, once again, United attackers on their heels, expecting the ball to be played right at them, where Lingard does the right thing, gets it out of his feet, plays it into space. Facing point. Fellaini's pulled away here. Anthony Martial. Marcus Rashford. Lingard's cross, Martial closing in! It's Chris Brunt. The wall stuffer. Jesse Lingard through to Marouane Fellaini. Fellaini finds Anthony Martial. This now is Martial. Mkhitaryan back through to Martial. Great challenge in the end. Rashford. Marcus Rashford eventually got the shot away. Carrick. Dawson on the charge, and this is Darren Fletcher. It could have been his big moment in front of the Stretford end. Well, Dawson did really well to get his head up and pick him out, but he's got to shoot with his left. Away from McLean. Martial. Not quite what he intended. I'm not sure why he's trying to pick out a teammate. Rashford, nicely done. Lingard. Mkhitaryan. Was he taken out? Fellaini. It was beautiful football from Manchester United. All that was lacking was the big finish. Oh, it's 4 or 5 really slick passes. Great movement off the ball. It's rebounded to Henry Mkhitaryan. Another chance gone. Well, that's a really uncharacteristic mistake by Gareth McCauley. Marcus Rashford. And Foster comes up with a big right hand. That's Rashford. Bit of space for Darren Fletcher, and David De Gea is rescued by the crossbar. Well, where did that come from? Well, wins this game. It's Rashford, and Foster takes evasive action. Well, this is one of the saves of the season. It's a brilliant strike from Rashford. It's right in the top corner.
You know, normally you would start, take the sting out of the game, and then if you're still in the game, then get your more attacking players.
Well, at the top of the Premier League, it's a case of mind the gap, which is now so wide to have the same effect on West Brom. It's only his fourth game in charge, and Ben Foster's clean sheet against Liverpool in midweek provided encouragement that they can climb the table. The back four were organised and solid at Anfield, so not surprisingly, Pardew keeps the same defence today. No changes either in midfield, where Claudio Jacob, restored to the starting 11 by the new manager, plays a key role. In fact, the only change from Wednesday night is in attack, where Scotland international Oliver Burke makes his first start for West Brom in place of Hal Robson-Kanu. Gareth Barry is back from injury and on the bench. Jose Mourinho has cut a frustrated figure in recent weeks, with Manchester City disappearing over the horizon, even though David De Gea and his teammates have won 5 of their last 6 games. One change in the back four from the midweek victory over Bournemouth. Ashley Young returns at left back in place of Luke Shaw. In front of them, there's a starting role for Ander Herrera. Scott McTominay drops down to the bench. And Marcus Rashford returns to the starting 11 to add an extra threat to the attack, led as usual by Romelu Lukaku. Anthony Martial is among the United substitutes. Their worst run of results in the club's history, and a false start today, ordered by referee Anthony Taylor. Now, one here, he's still got a couple of key players out injured to pick up. Lukaku and Rashford combining well. First real threat on that West Brom goal. And the back heel sets McLean free. Support arriving in the middle. Well, it went way beyond Burke.
Mats him all the way, doesn't get under the ball. Goes back in with him.
Olivier. McLean. Rondon in the middle comes to meet.